KSAT 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
This morning, authorities are investigating a deadly accident after a driver heads straight into oncoming traffic off Loop 1604. The details just ahead on GMSA.
And taking a look outside with live cam this morning, not raining there downtown San Antonio, but I hear from Sarah that we may have some isolated showers today. Good morning.
Good morning. It is 6 o'clock this Sunday, August 2nd, a cool 75. I think we started like 72 yesterday.
Yeah, so just a little warmer, but still nice.
Still nice out there. Did you make it outside at all?
I did, but not when it was hot. We waited till the evening and took a nice bike ride. That was a good idea, right, Sarah?
That's a great idea. That's a great idea. Wait past the peak heating hours of the day. Right around sunset should be nice, and probably before about noon. That's the best time to get out today. But yeah, we do have a little bit more time to see our temperatures actually go down a bit more. Right now it's 75 degrees outside, but yesterday we started off at 72, and I think we'll be able to see temperatures drop just a little bit more as we head into these very early morning hours here. Dew points are in this upper 60s, so it is a touch humid outside. 78 degrees in Del Rio. Wake up temperature in Kerrville is 72, 71 in Pleasanton, 73 in Victoria, and 73 in LaGrange. Stephanie had a great idea. Take the walk in the evening hours or in the morning hours. In fact, here's a look at your dog walking forecast for the day, Fido's forecast. You're good to go up until about afternoon. That's when it's going to be too hot for you and too hot for your pup, especially with their paws on the concrete and the asphalt. A high temperature today of 99 degrees, and we do have a small chance for isolated showers or storms today. That plus an update on the tropics and a heat dome on the way in just a few minutes. Max, Stephanie.
Thank you, Sarah. New this morning, an investigation underway after a head-on collision leaves one man dead and two more in the hospital. Deputies were called to 1604 and Pleasanton Road last night around 9 o'clock. Our Alicia Brera joins us live with the latest details. Alicia?
Good morning. Well, that head-on collision was caused after a driver headed straight into oncoming traffic. And we know from authorities on the scene that the driver, who is suspected to be at fault, died at the scene. And this morning, authorities, they're still investigating exactly what factors led into this deadly accident. And two of the ones that mentioned that, again, they're looking into, it has not been confirmed, would be speed and alcohol, if perhaps this caused that driver to go onto the wrong lanes. And for hours, deputies remained at the intersection of Loop 1604 and Pleasanton to take measurements and clean up the scene. According to Sergeant R. Salinas on the scene, this all unfolded around 9 last night. We're told one vehicle was going eastbound, the other westbound on Loop 1604. One of them crossed into the wrong lanes and crashed head-on with the other vehicle. According to the sergeant, the driver, suspected to be at fault, died at the scene, but this morning no word on his name or age. And we do know that there are two survivors in this accident, a man and a woman, 30s, 40s in their age. They were taken to Southwest General Hospital, and their injuries are non-life-threatening. Reporting live, Alicia Barrera, KSAT 12 News.
All right, thank you, Alicia. Also new this morning, a man is in critical condition after an overnight shooting. It happened just after 11 at an apartment complex in the medical center. Investigators tell us a man showed up at his ex-girlfriend's apartment and got into an argument with her, then left. But when he came back, he shot her friend in the stomach and then took off again. The victim was rushed to University Hospital. Police are still looking for that suspect.
Now to the latest in the pandemic. For the last 6 consecutive days, the hospitalization rate here in Bexar County has slowly decreased. And this comes as the county also saw a lower number of new cases. That new number, 374. This brings total confirmed cases here in Bexar County to 41,177 confirmed cases. 3 more people have died in the last 24 hours. That death toll now sitting at 352. 874 people in the hospital. 352 of them are in the ICU, 244 of them are on ventilators. Still, just 13% of staffed hospital beds are available. Important to note, though, 26,000 people have recovered.
And 3 new COVID-19 testing sites have opened and will remain open through the month of August. 2 locations are at the Cuellar Community Center on San Fernando Street and the Ramirez Community Center off of Gillette Boulevard. They do not require an appointment and are open daily from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. The Freeman Coliseum will also remain open. This testing site does require an appointment, though, and that will run from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m.
And heading east, Florida bracing for a deadly tropical storm, all while dealing with a new surge in coronavirus cases.
This comes as the state reported more than 9,000 new cases again on Saturday.
ABC's Christine Sloan is tracking the latest this morning.
One of the major hotspots of the U.S. coronavirus pandemic, Florida, will feel the force of Isaias today. Heavy rains and winds will batter the eastern coast, a day after the state marked more than 9,000 confirmed cases.
This is the first time that this county has been under 2 local states of emergencies that overlap at the same time.
Governor Ron DeSantis not expecting a large number of evacuation orders, instead urging people to hunker down at home with a week's worth of food, water, and medicine. North Carolina also preparing for the storm, declaring a state of emergency and ordering coastal evacuations, though most shelters are closed due to the pandemic.
Try to stay with family, friends, or a hotel to minimize contact with others.
For the rest of the country, 35 states and Puerto Rico now seeing an increase in the number of cases of COVID-19. The Centers for Disease Control predicting nearly 30,000 more Americans could be killed by the virus in the next 3 weeks. California becoming the first state with 500,000 confirmed cases, the same day it recorded its highest death toll, 219. Meantime, the U.S. Food and Drug Administration has authorized 2 antibody tests capable of estimating the number of antibodies in a person's blood. Officials say they may be useful as we continue to learn about the virus and how to fight it. Christine Sloan, ABC News, New York.
And back here in the Lone Star State, Governor Greg Abbott not going to the Republican National Convention. He'll be skipping it to handle the pandemic here in Texas. Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick will chair the convention instead. Governor Abbott announced the plan in a letter on Friday. Later this month, Charlotte, North Carolina will host the National Convention. The state's in-person delegation will be limited to only 6 members, a big reduction for Texas, which normally sends more than 150 delegates to the National Convention. Time now, 6:07, 75 degrees out.
And later this morning on GMSA, with the start of the new school year just a few weeks away, there seems to be more questions than answers. During our 8 a.m. hour, we're going to speak to the superintendent of NEISD Live about what you and your kids should expect this fall. And there's still time to send in your questions. So just head over to ksat.com/leadingsa.
And we are talking gardening. If your plants are dying in this brutal summer heat, you're going to want to keep it right here. After the break, tips to keep them healthy and thriving. I might start a garden.
Oh, you might?
I might.
Well, taking a look outside with LiveCam, you can start one.
Right now?
Yeah, right now.
I'm just going to run home in the break, throw some things in a pot, and I'll be good to go.
With these temperatures, might be a little tricky with the heat we're facing, but we're going to check in with Sarah in just a bit. And welcome back at 6:10. If your plants are dying, like mine, in the South Texas heat, you're not alone.
This morning, we want to share some tips with you to help your green thumb during these tough summer months. According to gardeningknowhow.com, additional watering is key. Retainer plants require daily watering and twice a day if it is super hot outside. I would assume 100 degrees constitutes super hot. And if you can't bring your plant inside, make sure they have shade, especially vegetables.
Also, keep your plants hydrated. Use of granules in pots. They gradually soak up excess water in times of dryness, and the granules will slowly release some of this water back into the soil.
Good advice.
Good advice.
I was going to say, are you guys gardeners?
Oh, not at all.
I have houseplants.
That counts. We're putting that.
Yeah,
I don't have a garden, though.
Are they alive?
Yes.
Then you're winning.
Then you're winning.
There we go. But I've got a fiddle leaf plant. I've got a cactus.
I know what cactus
is.
is.
And then I've got a pencil cactus as well, which is more of a succulent.
You lost me.
You can throw them in your car for a car wash.
Those of you who have plants know that all 3 of those are very easy to take care of.
Not entirely.
They are. Well, you know, we had some rain on Friday night, so you may be wanting to wash your car if it has mud on it and stuff like that. Here's what you got for your car wash forecast. Today, I think you would be okay to wash your car. The problem is there is a small chance isolated showers and storms. So if you happen to catch one of those showers and storms, that'll be a free car wash for you. But tomorrow, tomorrow and Tuesday, you should be good to go. Rain chances are practically going out the door for us as we head into the next few days. Now, looking outside right now, we are seeing the first light of the day there. We've got mostly clear skies. It's a beautiful morning. It's 75 degrees, but I do think that we'll be able to see temperatures cool down a couple more degrees from this, probably reaching a morning low right around 73 or 72. So we'll keep an eye on that for you, but beautiful otherwise. It's 72 in Kerrville, 78 in Del Rio, a little warm in Del Rio though, 70 in Rock Springs, 71 in Uvalde, 72 in Carrizo Springs, 73 in Cotulla, 73 in Beeville, and 75 in Gonzales. Now on the futurecast, what you'll notice is, there's going to be a few very small pop-up showers and storms in the afternoon between about the hours, I would say, of 2 p.m. through sunset. So 2 p.m. through 7:30. There's going to be that chance for a 20% chance for an isolated shower or storm. Some people will get that rain, but most of us will miss out, and instead it'll just be a simply hot day. Look at these high temperatures. 99 degrees for San Antonio and New Braunfels, 99 for the high in Pleasanton, 101 out toward Del Rio, 100 in Eagle Pass, 100 in Laredo, and 97 in Gonzales. We are starting off August hot. Now, mostly sunny outside right now, 83 degrees by 10, but a few more clouds in the afternoon as we will see some of those pop-up showers and storms develop. Light and variable winds all day, meaning they'll be light and there won't be a solid direction in the winds. Winds likely going to be less than 5 miles per hour throughout the day today, but still a fairly toasty day and a pretty pleasant evening. So if you want to take your walks, do it this morning and do it in the later afternoon hours closer to sunset. National weather pattern, of course, a large portion of the nation is focused on what is now Tropical Storm Isaias. It ended up weakening just a little bit, but still it's skirting the eastern coast of Florida right now and expected to do so throughout the day today, making it to the Carolinas by about Tuesday, early Tuesday morning, eventually making it up to the New England coastline probably by Wednesday as still a tropical storm. So Isaias will be something to pay attention to for those along the East Coast. Here in San Antonio, we're going to be paying attention out west because we've got a heat high coming our way. This heat high is currently over the desert southwest, so you know it's going to bring the heat. Take a look at the futurecast. Notice how the heat just starts to increase just about every afternoon as that heat high gets closer to us, making it to San Antonio and around Texas from Tuesday all the way to Friday. And take a look at some of these potential high temperatures. 106 in Fort Stockton, 105 in Midland. Here in San Antonio, we'll probably be in the 100 to 103 degree range from about Monday all the way through the upcoming weekend. So today's shot at isolated rain is the only chance for rain in the next 7 days. Oh man, I hope you got some rain on Friday night because it's looking pretty grim as far as rain chances are concerned.
And a small chance for some of us today.
Yeah, that's about it.
All right, we'll keep our fingers crossed. Thank you.
Thanks, Sarah. 6:15, 75 degrees out.
And big news for the hemp industry this morning. Some new rules and regulations go into effect today. We're going to break down the latest and what you need to know.
But first, we are talking Lotto numbers. Pick 3, 323, Fireball 7, Daily 4, 5714, Fireball 3.
Cash 5, 15, 19, 32, 33, 34. Any Lotto Texas numbers. Are you going to win? 4, 10, 24,
I would never tell.
36, 48. And your Powerball
This is what I cared
numbers,
about.
Max. Okay, here you go. 6, 25, 36, 43, 48, Powerball 24, Power Play 3. Good luck, Max.
Good morning, welcome back, and happy Sunday. A ban on smokable hemp is now in effect.
This comes after the Texas Department of State Health Services released its final rules that will govern the state's hemp program.
Digital journalist Ivan Herrera spoke with experts in the cannabis industry who say the ban won't just have an effect on retailers, but also on the consumers who depend on hemp products for relief.
Governor Greg Abbott signed House Bill 1325 into law last June to allow for the production, manufacturing, retail sale, and inspection of hemp products in Texas. Jax Finkel, the executive director for Texas Normal, a nonprofit that focuses on cannabis reform, says lawmakers created a hemp program in the last legislative session under the Department of State Health Services. The goal of the program is to come up with rules and regulations for the hemp industry.
So they lay out the guidelines for what's allowable in your product, what are the required testing protocols, a lot of things that are just kind of like truth in labeling, good consumer protections.
Finkel says the program had already banned the manufacturing of hemp for smokable purposes in the last session. However, it hadn't expressly prohibited these types of products at the retail level. So, the state asked the public for comment on why it should keep these smokable hemp products on shelves.
There were just under 1,700 commenters, however, who strongly disagreed with that being included in the rules.
Finkel says because of the smokable hemp ban that's taking effect on August 2nd, many shops across Texas will be affected. So what does the ban mean for you, the consumer, when it comes to purchasing from a local shop?
Anything that's not marketed for smoking or vaporization will still be able to be available to everyone.
Grace Delgado, who is the founder of the Texas CBD blog, has been advocating on her website for change. Delgado says the new rules are a cause for concern for consumers who rely on these types of products for relief.
It confuses the ability for consumers to know what to do with their product and be properly educated. And that, to me, that's a little misleading and it's a lot of gray area.
Delgado says for those consumers who may be confused, it's important to be informed and stay up to date on the latest cannabis news and politics. Ivan Herrera, KSAT 12 News.
Time now 6:22, 75 degrees out.
And with the pandemic and states being shut down, more and more people are losing their jobs. But with the latest federal unemployment benefits package expiring, what's next? We're going to take a look after the break. And welcome back at 6:25. Millions of Americans will no longer receive an extra $600 a week in unemployment benefits. This measure was one of 3 programs in the $2 trillion CARES Act. The extra money provided help to about 2/3 of the unemployed. Earlier this week, Senate Republicans proposed a $1 trillion relief package, which would only add an extra $200 to unemployment benefits. But House Democrats want the $600 to last until early next year. The unemployment benefits is the second CARES Act program to expire. The first one was the eviction protection program that ended last Friday. If a new relief bill is not passed, the next program to expire will be the Paycheck Protection Program on August 8th.
And time now 6:26, 75 degrees out.
And here's a look at what's coming up next.
Know how to go forward from here.
A heartbroken widow mourning the loss of her husband killed in a plane crash here in San Antonio on the south side. Just ahead, how she's remembering him. Good morning, welcome back, and happy Sunday. 6:30 this Sunday, August 2nd.
Happy Sunday. Thanks for joining us. I hope you had a happy Saturday. In the evening, we got a chance to go bike riding, so it was really nice.
Nice. Where'd you guys bike ride?
Around the neighborhood. You know, we don't venture off too far.
Smart. You got outside, you got some fresh air. Was it too hot out there?
No, not at 7. It was pretty nice.
Yeah, that's so true, Stephanie. And it was pretty nice because the humidity was relatively low yesterday. So once the sun started to set, it felt okay outside. And today's going to be very similar to yesterday, except I do think in the afternoon we will have a shot at some pop-up showers and storms. So if you want to enjoy some time at the pool, it's going to be a great day to do that just because of how hot and sunny it'll be. We're going to go for a high temperature of 99 degrees today, but some places will reach the triple digits, and there's a small chance, once again, 20% for isolated showers and storms. Right now outside, look at this beautiful sunset as we're starting off the day. Almost completely clear skies. In fact, it was great to see the stars out there this morning. Around the moon, both Saturn and Jupiter were visible. It's pretty cool. 75 degrees outside right now. Humidity is at 82%. So yeah, it's a little humid outside, but temperatures are lower than the last few mornings other than yesterday morning to start the day. So it feels pretty good. 72 in Carrizo Springs, 70 in Uvalde, 70 in Rock Springs, 78 in Del Rio, 72 in New Braunfels, and 74 in Gonzales. We'll talk more about today's chance for isolated rain and how the tap shuts off for the first full week of August coming up in a few. Max, Stephanie.
Thank you, Sarah. New this morning, 1 man is dead and 2 others in the hospital after a head-on crash on the city's far south side. It happened at the intersection of Loop 1604 and Pleasanton Road around 9 last night. Our Alicia Beretta is live downtown with more on this investigation.
Good morning. Well, I can tell you that those 2 survivors, their injuries are non-life threatening. So that's the good news this morning. And at the scene, authorities last night were looking into several factors, including speed. But as of this morning, nothing has been officially determined by authorities, as they're, of course, still investigating. So again, this all happened around 9 last night at the intersection of Loop 1604 and Pleasanton Road. According to Sergeant R. Salinas on the scene, we're told one vehicle was going eastbound, the other westbound on Loop 1604. One of them crossed into the wrong lanes and crashed head-on with the other vehicle. According to the sergeant, the driver suspected to be at fault did die at the scene. No word on his name or age yet this morning. We're going to be waiting on that. But the 2 survivors are a man and a woman, and they were transported last night to Southwest General Hospital where they're recovering. Again, injuries non-life threatening. Reporting Alicia Barrera, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Alicia. Now, in the latest of the pandemic, we're getting a new look at a New Braunfels facility suspected of administering questionable COVID-19 tests in the last several weeks. The FBI getting involved, saying those tests at the Living Health Holistic Healthcare in New Braunfels should not have been used. If you were at this testing facility, call the FBI at 210-225-6741, that number on your screen. You're also being encouraged to contact your primary care physician or local health department for retesting.
Experts with the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention are predicting the coronavirus may kill nearly 30,000 more Americans in the next 3 weeks. 35 states and Puerto Rico now seeing an increase in the number of COVID cases. California has become the first state with 500,000 confirmed cases. The same day, it recorded its highest death toll at 219. And contact tracers in Illinois linking multiple cases to a private high school prom that nearly 300 people attended.
Right now here in Bexar County, there are tentative dates in place to going back to school and heading back to the classroom. But with these seemingly ever-changing directives and guidance, how are schools here preparing, and what should families and faculty members know? At 8 a.m. and 8:30 this morning at Northeast ISD, Superintendent Dr. Sean Micah joins us live on Leading SA to talk about this upcoming school year. Right now on the Leading SA section of KSAT.com, you can submit what questions you would like asked.
And this morning, a heartbroken widow speaking out about her husband. Emily Willett's husband, Simon, was killed in a plane crash last weekend. Our Daphne Gray shares her story.
In my heart, I already knew it, even if I didn't want to admit it to myself. I knew.
It was a devastating call Emily Willett got last Saturday, saying her husband, 55-year-old Simon Willett, was in a plane crash.
They said that the engine was having issues keeping altitude. And the second was possibly could have been an overweight issue.
Simon was an Air Force veteran who worked for the VA and who shared his love for people, sci-fi, and Star Wars. They even called him Vader.
It was so funny. He would actually walk down the hospitals with a black cape on ever so often, with his suit on just to make somebody smile.
She says he also loved and knew everything to do with flying.
Had the spirit of a child because him and his best friend were into flight sim. If there was nothing about airplanes that they did not love.
Sadly, the morning of his death, Emily says Simon and his best friend boarded a Discovery flight to see if he wanted that flight instructor to earn his pilot license.
I can't be mad because it was his passion. And that's the one thing he always encouraged in me, was to do whatever I loved to do, whatever I wanted to do. And that's the one thing I would never stop him doing.
The pilot and his best friend, who was recovering from severe burns in the hospital, survived the crash.
Anything my husband would gladly give his life over and over again to make sure he walks out of that hospital and gets to spend the rest of his life with his family.
Emily says she cherishes the 5 years of marriage they had together.
He was my sanctuary. Like, this place was his sanctuary, he was my sanctuary. Everywhere I look, he's in all the little details, and he always will be.
Daphne Gray, KSAT 12 News.
The search officially over for 7 missing Marines and 1 missing sailor off the coast of Southern California. The effort to find them has concluded after an extensive 40-hour search. All of this coming after a training exercise accident this past Thursday. An amphibious assault vehicle weighing approximately 26 tons believed to have sunk to the ocean floor. All 8 missing are presumed dead. In addition to them, at least 1 more Marine reported dead and 2 others that were injured that day.
In California, a wildfire near Palm Springs forced thousands to evacuate. Crews had to battle the flames in triple-digit heat. Now, the wildfire broke out as 2 separate fires and burned over 18 square miles. This is just one of several fires crews are battling in Southern California. Right now, the state is gripped by a severe heat wave.
TikTok firing back after President Donald Trump told reporters on Air Force One that he would be banning TikTok from the United States. The app, known for its short videos, viral dances like you see right here, and reaching 100 million Americans. Here's the thing, though. There are concerns that the Chinese-owned app has security breaches, and it's already prompted the United States military to ban TikTok on government phones. The app's general manager says users, though, shouldn't be worried.
When it comes to safety and security, we're building the safest app because we know it's the right thing to do. We're here for the long run and continue to share your voice here.
TikTok has denied sharing user data with the Chinese government.
Well, the videos are cute.
The videos are cute, and I know a lot of people get involved with it, but if it is a security risk, that's something they have to look into.
Yes, it is. A lot of people, though, disappointed.
Yeah, well, there's always Instagram. 6:37, 75 degrees out.
And soon you'll be able to get your hands on some of the coveted Big Red beer. That's right, Big Red beer. Just ahead, it's a story that has a lot of people buzzing.
And we are keeping an eye on the tropical storm after the break, who is now bracing for heavy rain.
And taking a look outside with live cam this morning.
We missed the sunrise.
So Max and I were talking during the break that we needed to run out and get a picture of this, and here it is. But beautiful for you guys to enjoy. We'll be right back. And welcome back. It is 6:41. Florida's East Coast has started to see the first bands of heavy rains from Isaias. It weakened from a hurricane to a tropical storm late Saturday afternoon, but it's still expected to bring heavy rain and flooding. Officials are watching it closely as it threatens to hinder efforts to contain the coronavirus in areas where cases are surging. The governor of Florida is warning people to take the storm seriously.
Absolutely, and we'll show the track of Isaias soon here in the forecast. But here in San Antonio, it's going to be just a normal summer day. I know there were some concerns about the splashdown from the SpaceX astronauts that are coming back. It shouldn't really affect them, and I'll show you that in just a bit. But for now, take a look outside of this beautiful sunrise. Max tried to run outside and get a look at it, but it won't be great until we see the sun over the horizon here shortly. Sorry to do that to you, Max.
I got my cardio in. That was the important part.
Yeah, you did. You got your cardio in. 75 degrees outside, and it is a little humid out there. We've got 82% relative humidity, but that's typical this time of year. At least these temperatures are pretty comfortable. You know, it's nice to see morning lows in the low 70s or even the upper 60s. Look at Stinson, 69 degrees at Stinson, 72 in Helotes, 69 at Rio Medina, 70 in Bandera, 70 in Bulverde, 72 in New Braunfels, and 77 in Canyon Lake, 67 in Comfort. A beautiful start to the day. We'll see a little bit more clouds as we head into the afternoon. Around that time, we'll also see a few pop-up showers and storms. Our chance for rain, unfortunately, is only 20%. So you're more than likely not going to get a shower or storm today. But if you do, consider yourself lucky. And of course, we'll continue to update you throughout the day for any storms that do develop. Now, other than that, it's going to be hot. Here's a look at high temperatures around Bexar County. 99 rather in New Braunfels, 99 in Seguin, 99 downtown San Antonio, 98 up at Stone Oak, 98 at Randolph, 96 at Timberwood Park, and 97 at Leon Springs. We're in the 70s now. We'll already be in the 80s by 10, 90 degrees around noon, then a little bit more cloud cover in the afternoon. That's when we'll have that chance for an isolated shower or storm. Today, wind's going to be light and variable, not a very clear direction, and also fairly light, about 5 miles per hour or less, and then a comfortable evening. So here is Isaias that we were talking about. It is currently on the east coast of Florida, on the southeastern coast of Florida. The splashdown is going to happen somewhere in the Gulf, so those astronauts should be just fine. Isaias is expected to make its way up the eastern coast of Florida throughout the the day today. By Monday and Tuesday, in the evening hours on Monday and into the early morning Tuesday hours, it'll be across the Carolinas, and then eventually actually maintaining strength as a tropical storm, probably through the New England coast or into the New England states. So it'll be interesting to see how that affects areas across New England and near New York. Now here in San Antonio, we're going to have a completely different weather pattern. It is going to be very quiet and it is going to be very hot. A heat dome is going to settle over Texas in the week ahead, making for very hot weather for us and essentially shutting off our chances for rain through the first week of August. That heat high is going to have a major effect. Look at these afternoon high temperatures into the triple digits, potentially with high temperatures around 100 to 103 every day of the week. It is going to be hot. Thankfully, in the afternoons, it won't be that humid, so it should be a dry heat for us. And yeah, unfortunately, the rain chances are just not going to be there. Heat domes, what they do is they suppress atmospheric development in the vertical, and so that's why we just don't see much of a chance for rain. We were talking earlier about gardening tips during the heat. Unfortunately, some of those plants are just not going to have a good go of it. Justin Horn was talking yesterday about how brown his backyard was, and they benefited from some of that rain on Friday. So I hope you got a little bit of rain on Friday, and I hope you get one of those isolated showers or storms today, because it is not looking good over the next 7 days.
I hope so too. My yard's a little crunchy as well.
Sorry about that, Steph.
It happens. That's okay.
I like crunchy toast, don't like crunchy yards.
I agree.
So Sarah alluded to it. I did run outside to try to get a picture of the sunrise.
What did
Insider info, a little underwhelming for right now. I'm going to wait a few minutes. I can say it is beautiful outside. Ran up like the 6 flights, seemingly 6 flights, to get to the roof.
You broke a sweat?
Definitely broke a sweat, and I forgot to turn my microphone off, so I'm sure all the people in the back were just like, what is happening out there?
Why is he huffing and puffing?
Well, it was more the clanking of the shoes just running up the stairs.
Trying to make it in time.
But I made it back, only sweating a little bit.
Just a little bit because of the nice morning weather.
There it is, all coming back to weather. Beautiful out there, 75. Enjoy it while it lasts. 647, not 64 degrees out, 75 degrees out.
And just ahead in your morning spotlight news, a preview of a new movie that is resonating with people in a unique way, especially during the pandemic.
But first, we have birthdays. A very important birthday. Mark Austin.
Happy birthday, Mark. We love you. Big hugs. And we also love Mike Osterhage. Oh, and Truman. Mike
I'm
Osterhage.
telling Mike. We also love Truman, Mark's dog, not Mike. No, we love Mike.
Yes, Mike's birthday is actually tomorrow, so we want to wish him a happy birthday as well. Big hugs to you. You guys enjoy.
Good morning. Happy Sunday, and thank you for starting your day with us. A new movie on demand really resonating with viewers, especially during these trying times here in our country.
CNN's David Daniel takes a closer look at the movie that was set more than 75 years ago.
We were expecting you an hour ago. Sorry. Frank, this is Miss Lamb, your new guardian. I don't want him. We've all got to do our bit.
Summerland stars Gemma Arterton as a reclusive writer whose solitary life is invaded by a young evacuee from London during World War II.
Miss Lamb, I know you're busy writing your stories.
Academic theses.
I'd never played someone that was so brash and hard, and I was worried that I was going to kind of constantly apologize or something for being so rude to the children in the film.
Writer-director Jessica Swale says the story did not begin with the characters or the setting.
I started off with a kernel of an idea about magic and the importance of a belief in something. So I wanted to find a protagonist that was somehow limited and squashed by her past experiences and who couldn't be herself.
Why don't you have a husband? Why don't you have a wife? There was someone once. Here we are. So I say, make the most of it. Was she the one you loved? Would you think it was strange? No.
It totally took me by surprise, knocked me out really emotionally, which never really happens reading scripts. I never get that, I cried and I thought, oh, okay, this is probably a good one.
Life is not kind. Anguish is inevitable. What matters is how you deal with it.
In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Thoughts?
I'm going to see it.
Okay.
Is it too girly for you?
I wouldn't say it was girly. I wouldn't put it at the top of my to-do list.
Okay, I understand.
All right. Turning to something is on the top of my to-do list. Trending right now at KSAT.com. Big Red Beer is back. Well, they are going to be available to customers get this early as next week for another pre-sale. The wildly popular beer has been selling out here in San Antonio. The brewery said more details will be announced soon on their Facebook page. Have you tried this yet?
Me? No, I'm not really a beer person, but I do like Big Red.
There you go. Maybe it just tastes like, alcoholic Big Red.
Maybe. Would you try it?
I wonder if it's sweet. I don't love sweet. Sweet beer doesn't sound good to me.
Yeah.
We'll see.
I'll just stick with the Big Red.
But I do like Big Red.
Yeah, see? Yeah.
We'll have to wait and see.
I would try it. But
yeah,
apparently it's
try
very
it.
difficult to get one.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay,
I can feel the appreciation from your voice.
Well, I'm not gonna go out of my way to try it.
Yeah, maybe David Elder can hook us up.
Oh, that's true. I'd prefer a Big Red Icy or a Big Red Slurpee or something like that.
All right, you guys are just taking all the fun out of this. Anyway,
sorry, I'm no
time
fun.
now, 6:54, 75 degrees. That was a good call. I bet we should ask Elder about it.
Maybe. So here's a look at what's coming up next on Good Morning America.
Hey, good morning. Coming up on GMA, Florida, already reeling from the virus, bracing for impact from Isaias. Rob right there on the ground with the forecast as the storm prepares to march up the East Coast. Plus wildfires raging in the West, thousands of acres burning in California. The latest this morning on the evacuations and the efforts at containment. And finally, shark sightings from Maine to Mexico. The warnings to swimmers after a series of attacks. It's all coming up on GMA. We'll see you very soon.
One man is dead and 2 are in the hospital suffering from non-life-threatening injuries after a head-on collision happened last night on the city's far south side. According to deputies on the scene, for hours they remained at the intersection of Loop 1604 and Pleasanton to take measurements and clean up the scene. According to Sergeant R. Salinas, this all unfolded around 9 last night. We're told one vehicle was going eastbound, the other westbound on Loop 1604. That's when one of them crossed into the wrong lanes and crashed head-on with the other vehicle. According to the sergeant, the driver suspected to be at fault did die at the scene. The 2 survivors, a man and a woman, are recovering at Southwest General Hospital. According to officials, their injuries are non-life-threatening. And last night at the scene, authorities were looking into several factors that could have caused that driver to go into the opposite lanes, including speed. But as of this morning, no official confirmation from authorities. Reporting Alicia Barrera, KSAT 12 News.
Also new this morning, a man is in critical condition after a shooting overnight. All of this happening just after 11 in an apartment complex at the medical center. Investigators tell us a man showed up at his ex-girlfriend's apartment, got into an argument with her. He left and then came back, allegedly shooting her friend in the stomach, and then took off again. That victim rushed to University Hospital. Police still searching for who's responsible.
Looking at the futurecast again today, there is going to be a chance for pop-up showers. About 20% chance for a shower or storm around your location. But other than that, it's going to be hot. High temperature near 99 here in San Antonio, closer to 101 out toward Del Rio, west of San Antonio. We'll already be at 90 by noon. Winds will be light and variable. For the first Sunday of August, man, it's hot. But look at this first week of August. 100 degrees just about every day, even topping off close to 102 on Thursday. So I hope that people are staying cool and trying to find a way to keep whatever garden they have left watered, because it's way too hot and there's not going to be much of a chance for rain over the next 7 days.
Crunchy gardens we have right now.
Crunchy gardens, yeah.
Thank you, Sarah.
All right, thank you so much, Sarah. Thank you, Steph. We're going to take an hour-long break for Good Morning America, but we have so much coming up at 8 a.m. We hope to see you here.
See you guys.
Live from KSAT 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
There are a lot of questions looming about what the new school year will look like, when and if students will go back to the classroom. To help answer some of these questions, we are joined live by Northeast ISD Superintendent on today's Leading SA.
Cloth or clear, which is the best way to go? Lately, I've been getting a lot of questions about clear masks, where to get them, and how to keep them from fogging. The details just ahead here on GMSA.
And taking a look outside with live cam, I promise you, that wasn't a shot.
There we go.
It's really beautiful outside.
It is really nice out there. We have sunlight, I promise. We're going to check it with Sarah in just a few moments. Until then, good morning. It is 8 o'clock this Sunday, August 2nd.
Good morning. Thanks for joining us. Happy Sunday. Yes, we promise you, it is beautiful outside.
You brought the ray
now.
of sunshine
That's right.
with the dress alone, but we are actually seeing real sunshine as well.
Yeah. Yes.
It would be a totally different forecast if it was totally black outside. It would be a different forecast for us. But we are seeing tons of sunshine out there right now as we're starting off our Sunday, appropriately called Sunday. Temperatures are warming up. We got down to 73 degrees this morning, but right now it's 77 total sunshine and a smidge humid out there. Dew points are in the low 70s, but it could be a lot worse as far as humidity is concerned. 72 at Bernie Stage Airfield, 69 in Bandera, 68 in Comfort, 74 in Devine, 73 at JBSA Randolph, and 75 in New Braunfels. Showing you the future cast because I want to show that later on today, there's going to be a slight increase in clouds, partly cloudy skies rather than mostly sunny skies, and we will have a shot at isolated rain. The chance for rain, unfortunately, is only 20%. I know, wish we could have a better chance for rain, but what we will all be experiencing is the heat. High temperatures likely near 100 degrees today. So if you're wanting to spend some time outdoors, I would do it this morning or later in the evening, especially if you want to walk your dog. This is a look at Fido's forecast today. It's going to be too hot to walk the dog between about noon all the way to 7. By that time, temperatures will be climbing to near 100, even though we may have one or two isolated showers out there. The pavement is just simply going to be too hot for the pups, and of course you as well. It's very hot outside during that peak heating hours of the day, but then after the sunset, should be fairly nice out there. So I hope you have a wonderful Sunday. We've got a lot to talk about in the forecast, including a check-in on Tropical Storm Isaias and a heat wave, a triple-digit heat wave headed our way. Stephanie?
Thank you, Sarah. For the last 6 consecutive days, the hospitalization rate in Bexar County has slowly decreased. According to the city's website, there are 374 additional COVID-19 cases for San Antonio and Bexar County. That brings the total of COVID-19 cases to 41,177 in our area. 3 deaths were also reported. The death toll now stands at 352. 874 people are in the hospital. 352 are in the ICU and 244 are on ventilators. 13% of staffed hospital beds are available. Bexar County officials also reporting more than 26,000 people have recovered.
And with these COVID numbers worrying the general public, there are even bigger concerns when it comes to school.
Parents and teachers still have a lot of questions, with many districts starting school in just a few weeks. This morning, Northeast ISD Superintendent Dr. Sean Micah joins us for today's Leading SA segment. Good morning.
Superintendent, can you hear us? Having a little bit of technical difficulty. Okay, we're going to fix that up. Okay, but we are talking the latest on COVID numbers. We're talking masks, and one of our own, Alicia Brera, has one of the coolest masks in town.
You might have noticed that it's kind of clear in the middle, and there's a reason for that. So she's going to explain why she's been wearing this clear mask and also how you can get your hands on one as well. Alicia.
Good morning. Well, the big thing, you can't even see my lips move right now or see me smile. So it's a big reason why this big movement for clear mask is happening. Earlier this morning, I was wearing this mask, and the problem is for some people that it fogs up. So I want to show you how. Of course, there's different options. There's like this face gaiter that covers your mouth and your neck, and then you have your bandana if you want that, or the traditional ones that most people are wearing around, which is the full cloth. So where do you get this? Where do you start? I started with an easy Google search. These are obviously homemade. So the best thing is if you go to Etsy.com, and there you'll find a lot of different options, and the keywords that you want to use are going to be either clear mask, face, window smile, or if you want to support a local organization, we've done a story on this. Aid the Silent is sharing their clear mask for $15, so that's another option. So what you'll need, of course, a clear mask. You'll want to work with the inside of it. You'll need some soap, dish soap. I'm using Dawn dish soap. And then I have some different towels here that we can use, either a regular paper towel that I'm sure everyone at home has, a smaller microfiber one, or your regular dish towel will also work. So you'll just put a little dab on here and you'll smear it on the actual face mask all around in circles, and you're gonna have to let it dry. So I let mine dry overnight, but you guys, when you come back, I'll show you the finished results on how this is actually gonna work. Back to you.
Thank you so much, Alicia. A lot of people were asking questions about that, so we'll get back to you in a minute.
All right, as for now, we're gonna try to go back to the superintendent. Let's see if we can pull him up.
Good morning.
Good morning, can you hear us?
Yes, I can. Good morning.
All right, perfect. We're just going to dive right into the questions. Right now, what is the plan and the timeline for staff and students as we are set to begin the school year virtually and then face-to-face?
Yeah, so that's a great question, Max. So it's important to note, though, that we've already had one of our campuses, Castle Hills, that has been in session now for almost 2 weeks. So they did begin, though, virtually. And our plan is to continue them in a virtual environment here for a little bit. As for the rest of our campuses in our school district, all of our campuses will begin the first 3 weeks in a virtual environment. And it's important to note, though, that parents and students will not experience what they did in the spring, because in the spring, we only had 5 days in which to stand up this new distance learning platform. And so that was a very quick time frame to pivot. So what we did is we spent a lot of time during the spring and this summer listening to our parents, our students, and our teachers to make sure that our new platform would be much more robust. So we took all of those lessons and piloted it this summer during summer school. And we did get a lot of great feedback from our teachers, our students, and our parents, because what we did is a lot more live instruction component. But it is important to note that there are many people that does not work for. So not only will we have those live lessons going on, but we do have what's called an asynchronous, where you can go, maybe that time doesn't work for you and your child, so that you can go back and watch tape videos and then do the work when it fits in. We've been meeting, my executive staff and I, twice a week with our principals, because as we know, guidance continues to change, and it changes sometimes very rapidly, sometimes multiple times during a day. And so getting their input as to how that's going to look like. Now, as far as when are we going to begin face-to-face, that's hard, because putting a date out there, to me, is very artificial. Who knew back in March that school districts would never open again for the rest of the year? And so as we've seen, there was a lot of people that believed that the virus would die off this summer and it would start to let go or go down a little bit. And that just never happened. So we've got to continue to monitor our current community and the spread to make those decisions. And so, in fact, a doctor from Johns Hopkins was speaking with a group of us the other day and stated that it would be very short-sighted if we started trying to forecast what would happen in 3 weeks, that because it's such a new virus, we're learning so much, and to really kind of live in the present, plan for those types of things, but be ready to monitor and adjust as circumstances dictate.
And speaking of all those changes, Metro Health is scheduled to issue an amended health directive this week. How have you been working with them on this directive?
Yeah, so I've been a part of the task force since its onset. And so it's made up of a very diverse group. And in fact, now I believe Dr. Wu stated it last week, that's going to be open to even more participants. And so I've been involved in that since the get-go. The mayor, Mayor Nurnberg, has had several calls with superintendents to seek our input. I have to give a huge thank you to our Region Service Center, Region 20. They have been instrumental in gathering superintendents all over their region, as well as Metro Health and the city and the county together to discuss this. I agree with Dr. Wu, we really do need metrics in place in order to help us decide when and how to open our schools. And so, but it's important to note that all of those things are crucial, and we will put many safety procedures in place, but really the health and the safety of everybody in those buildings is everybody's responsibility. We're going to, that pre-screen at the beginning of each day is so crucial, because if a child wakes up with a low-grade fever and a parent or gives the child some Tylenol to kind of get through the day, and only later we find out, that could be that child that actually, makes the spread. Same with an employee. They have a sore throat and they think, well, it's not that bad and I'm going to come on in. That could be the onset. So it's really critical that everybody understands their own role in helping schools open and then stay open during this time.
All right, Dr. Micah, thank you so much for joining us. A lot of questions, including talk about those metrics a little bit more, but we're going to check back with you at about 8:30.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Time now, 8:11, 77 degrees out.
And SpaceX capsule departs ISS to return astronauts home. Next on GMSA, we're going to have the details of the journey and when they'll be arriving.
And taking a live look out at the Alamo City, that is the gorgeous start to the Sunday morning we wanted to show you at the start of the show. The sun is out. It is still 80 degrees out there for now. What does the rest of the day, what does the week look like? We're going to check in with Sarah Spivey just after the break. Good morning and happy Sunday. In your morning headlines, next month's Republican National Convention set for North Carolina will be closed to the press. A convention spokesperson cites social distancing requirements and resulting capacity restrictions. Not even all the delegates are going to be able to cast their votes in person. Another Republican official says the convention will be live streamed, including the planned formal nomination of President Donald Trump as the party's official candidate for the 2020 election.
A teenager from Tampa has been identified as the mastermind behind the hack on Twitter that happened last month. 17-year-old Graham Clark had his first appearance in a Hillsborough County court yesterday. A judge set Clark's bond at $25,000 for each of his 30 felony charges, totaling $750,000. The judge also ordered that if Clark posts bond, he must identify the source of the funds used to post bond, and he must wear a GPS monitor, surrender any passports, and is not allowed to have any personal electronic devices. Clark was arrested this past Friday. 2 NASA astronauts are starting their 19-hour journey back to Earth.
Robert Behnken and Douglas Hurley on board the SpaceX Crew Dragon, and has been docked at the International Space Station since they arrived from their launch back on May 30th. It feels like 5 years ago, but it was just a couple months ago, and now they are unlatched.
No, not that long ago. The capsule and its crew are scheduled to splash down off the coast of Florida this afternoon, and this will be the first splashdown for astronauts in 45 years. I didn't realize that, Sarah.
Yeah, exactly. I know that it's the first commercial flight. That's pretty interesting. And they are going to be splashing down somewhere in the Gulf of Mexico. I know there was some concern about Tropical Storm Isaias, but that is not in the Gulf of Mexico. It's on the eastern side of Florida right now. So we'll be tracking that through the next few days here. But here in San Antonio, we are looking at really high mold count today. Now it is down from yesterday. Mold was very high yesterday, and now it is just high at 9,400. And looking at the car wash forecast for today, we did see that mold go up because of the rain on Friday, and so you may want to wash your car because of the rain on Friday. Today, you'll just be tempting chance and tempting fate, because there is going to be a chance for isolated showers throughout the day today, especially in the afternoon. But starting Monday and Tuesday, we're not going to see much of any chance for rainfall over the next several days. So you're good to go by Monday and Tuesday. Right now outside, it is completely sunny, 77 degrees out there. Humidity is fairly high. Dew points are in the 70s. 74 in Hondo, 72 in Uvalde, 78 in Del Rio, 72 in Rock Springs, 77 in San Antonio, 75 in New Braunfels, and 76 in Gonzales. Want to show you the futurecast because I do want to show that there are going to be a couple of pop-up showers and storms like what I was talking about earlier. The chance for rain, only 20%. That's it, measly 20%. If you get a pop-up shower storm, you are one of the lucky ones. The rest of us will be experiencing quite a bit of heat. Temperatures are going to be climbing to near 100 degrees. 99 for the high in San Antonio, 98 in Hondo, 96 in Kerrville, 99 in Pleasanton, 101 for the high in Del Rio, 100 in Eagle Pass, and 100 in Laredo. Now, around 10 we'll be at 83 degrees. We're already at 77. We had a really nice morning. We got down to 72 degrees for the second day in a row. Our normal high temperatures, our average high temperatures this time of year, 75. So a little bit cooler than average. We'll already be at 90 by noon. 99 in the afternoon with a few more clouds, and yes, those pop-up showers and storms will be around. Winds light and variable today. Not going to see much of any solid direction or really that fast of a wind, maybe only 5 miles per hour. And it's fairly quiet across the nation with the exception of a storm system over the Great Lakes and, of course, Tropical Storm Isaias. So again, that splashdown is going to happen somewhere in the Gulf of Mexico, whereas Isaias is just to the east of Florida right now. Current winds at 65 miles per hour, gusts up to 75. Look how long this is going to be a tropical storm for, potentially making it to New England as a tropical storm by Wednesday morning. So a good portion of the nation will be paying attention to the East Coast. And while they're dealing with rain and the potential for a tropical storm, here in San Antonio, we're going to see a big heat dome, a heat high move over. That's just going to crank up our temperatures. August is the hottest month of the year for us, and we are starting off with a bang. Look at these potential highs by Wednesday. 106 Fort Stockton, 105 Midland. Around San Antonio, we'll be in the 100 to 103 degree range for most of the week. And then unfortunately, like I said, today's chance for spotty rain, the only chance for rain in the next 7 days. Max and Stephanie.
Oh my goodness, I guess we'll have to take it. Thank you, Sarah.
Thanks, Sarah. 8:20, 77 degrees out.
And we have the details of what Ellen DeGeneres is saying about those allegations of the show being a toxic workplace. That's coming up next on GMSA.
Good morning, welcome back, and happy Sunday. A great Sunday if you are a Spurs fan. They are 1-0 in the bubble, and we just wanted to gently remind you they are back in action today, taking on the Memphis Grizzlies at 3 p.m. Second game of the season in the restarted Orlando bubble. First game was against the Kings, and if you didn't watch or you didn't see all the excitement we had here, Silver and Black won big 129-120.
Go Spurs, go!
In your entertainment news this morning, Ellen DeGeneres responding to allegations that her talk show fostered a toxic work environment. An employee confirmed that the comedian sent out an email Thursday apologizing to staffers at her show.
In that letter, DeGeneres says she is disappointed after reports by BuzzFeed that current and former staff members faced intimidation and racism. Ellen says she started the show with the intention of creating a happy, respectful environment, but she admits she has learned that is now not the case.
An internal investigation has been launched by Warner Brothers Television. And Sesame Street launching a new webinar series to discuss parental addiction.
Sesame Street and Communities partnered with Dispose RX to create the program for child and family therapists, first responders, community leaders, and other service providers.
The first of 4 webinars launched this week. The remaining 3 will be released monthly. And time now, 8:25, 77 degrees out.
In our next half hour, NEISD Superintendent Sean Micah comes back with a live interview to keep answering your questions about going back to school.
Plus, more meetings, but no deal yet on possible stimulus relief. Next on GMSA, we have the latest. Good morning, happy Sunday, and welcome back. It is just about 8:30 this morning, August 2nd.
Thanks for joining us. And if you plan on getting outside, I hope you do that right now at 77 degrees or in the evening.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea, Stephanie. And in fact, I wanted to start off the forecast with a look at your Riverwalk or park forecast, depending on where you want to go for the walk today or spend some time outdoors. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. It is going to be hot today. There is no two ways about it. 99 degrees for the afternoon high temperature. But right now it feels good outside at 77. We'll still be in the 80s, around 10. Mostly sunny skies. Around noon, we'll be at 90. Winds will be light and variable today, and there will be a chance for an isolated shower or storm. High temperature near 100 degrees, and then mostly clear and comfortable in the evening. Thankfully, in the afternoon, even though it's going to be hot, the humidity should be manageable. Right now outside, you can see a few clouds up near Canyon Lake and up in hill country, but other than that, it is completely sunny around San Antonio. We started off at 72 degrees. We're already at 77, and we haven't even really started to hit the peak warming hours of the day yet, so it's going to get hot. 78 in Del Rio, 73 in Carrizo Springs, 74 in Cotulla. Showing you the futurecast. Yes, 1 or 2 spotty showers or storms will be possible in the afternoon between the hours of about 2 p.m. and 7 p.m. After that, the sun is going to set, and thank goodness for that because it's going to be hot. High temperature near 99 around San Antonio, but 101 in Del Rio, 100 in Eagle Pass, and 100 in Cotulla. Coming up, your poolside forecast for the day, and we'll have a look at a triple-digit heat wave this week. Max.
Thank you, Sarah. San Antonio Metro Health is set to issue an amended health directive this coming week that'll include recommendations to help guide school districts to safely restart face-to-face school.
There are still a lot of questions when it comes to going back to school, though. And in today's leading essay segment, Northeast ISD Superintendent Dr. Sean Micah joins us again. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for joining us again. So right off the bat, what happens if a student or teacher tests positive for COVID-19 or if they've been exposed and you're already back to school?
Yeah. So it's really important to note here that transparency is the key to building trust for our community and our employees. So we, of course, are going to make certain that people are notified. Now, this past week, TEA released what they call tabletop exercises for districts to work through different scenarios and how to respond to that. I'm super proud of my staff. We have been doing that for some time now and creating our own tabletop exercises and working through our protocols. But we have many protocols in place depending on that individual situation and what happens. But again, the key here is that staff and parents are going to know if there is a case of COVID, and then making sure that anybody with close contact is notified individually through contact tracing.
What are some of those protocols, just to give family and teachers some peace of mind?
Sure. So the protocols are, first and foremost, we have to identify who it is that actually confirmed positive for COVID-19. Now, we're going to even take it a step further. And if there is a suspected case of it, we're going to go ahead as well and make sure people are notified that of that as well. So that component is, and I want to stress to our parents, make certain that you have signed up through our notification system, that you are receiving them. Unfortunately, many parents over the years have opted out of our messaging. So it's super important now to go in and make sure that you have opted in to those messages to make certain that we notify you, because it will be through that digital platform more often than not on how we notify you of a case.
And Dr. Micah, we understand this is a school year like no other. What has it been like with all the back and forth on the decisions for how we return back to school?
Yeah, it's been a challenge. But I think it's important for everybody to remember this is a novel virus. It's new, so no one really knows how it's going to act. As I mentioned earlier, there was a really strong belief back early spring that once the warm temperatures came up, as you guys just talked about, 99 degrees, that the virus would die off, and that just simply hasn't happened. So we're learning more and more every day. However, I do believe this whole situation has highlighted the importance of schools, not just in the community, but in the economy as well. And it's also demonstrated to us the possibilities that are out there. This virtual learning format, now moving forward, I really believe things will change forever in school systems, because we've now seen a possibility that if a child were at home sick in the future, once COVID-19 is gone, that they could virtually log in and never miss a school day. So now missed days of instruction become maybe a thing of the past in the future. I think, though, that this virus, again, it's been a challenge, but I think it's demonstrated to the community, to state leaders, and hopefully to national leaders, of a system that often people thought of very rigid and not changing. It has changed very quickly and is adapting very quickly. We had to be very nimble. We closed schools over spring break. And on day one, we started, when we came back in a virtual environment, we started feeding children. And to date, we've served over 2.4 million meals during that time. We've had to think outside the box to create drive-up internet in our parking lots for those students that don't have access. I'm truly humbled and proud of the people in the Northeast Independent School District and how they've stepped up to really make sure not to only meet the academic needs of our students, but also their mental health. That's been one of my priorities since taking over as superintendent. And our counselors stood up a hotline. They were one of the first in the state to do that, where students, staff, and or parents could call and get that kind of support that they needed. Because as I stated earlier as well, anxiety and stress has been at an all-time high through this.
We understand the academic capacity, but what about extracurriculars? Is there any tentative plan for things like football or sports?
Yeah, great question. That's the one thing that hasn't changed. The UIL has been very consistent that they will control extracurriculars moving forward. So very recently, they pushed out a schedule showing how and when we can start those extracurricular activities. So for our larger districts, they have a larger, later start date. I believe it's August the 24th. And then smaller districts can start earlier. Now that's interesting, and it really shows the diversity across the state of Texas, because in some districts, varying those start times has caused a bit of a problem. Not for us, because all of our high schools are 6A, but in other districts where they have a mixture of maybe 3A, 5A, 4A schools. So they have some of them starting in the district, I believe on August the 13th, and then others starting on the 24th. And that's lent itself to some unique instances and confusion among their community. Super proud of Julie Shore, my executive director for fine arts, and Kelly Parker, my executive director for athletics. They have really done a great job of staying abreast of everything that UIL has been pushed out, making sure that they communicate with myself and my executive staff regarding those changes and creating a plan forward. When our boundaries for UIL were redone, we are of course now in the district with 2 schools from Northside. And so Northside and Kelly have been working very closely to create that schedule, trying to allow some flexibility and the potential that we may have to go into a closure and not, because who knows if the spread will happen, and can we allow some flexibility in there. But again, as I stated earlier, and I want to reemphasize this, we will put many protocols in place to keep our staff and our students safe. And in those camps, we began camps back in the summer. We never had any sort of spread in those camps. But what we found through contact tracing is while we were doing everything right at the campuses, when our students were leaving, they weren't always necessarily making the best choices and coming into large groups and contracting that COVID-19 outside of the campus. So again, it's that vigilant, and I think Mayor Nuremberg has said, don't let your guard down. Just because the schools are doing it doesn't mean you go home and ignore all of those wash your hands, wear a face mask, socially distanced components. That it has to be all the time.
All right, Superintendent, thank you so much. We are running out of time, but we really appreciate you joining us this morning.
Yes, thanks
Thank you.
for joining
I appreciate
us.
it.
A lot of
Thank
questions
you.
out there and a lot of variables this year.
That's politics now. Gridlock over possible coronavirus relief packages. More meetings, but still no deal as millions of Americans face financial disaster.
ABC's Alex Prochet has the latest from Washington.
It's the deal millions of Americans are depending on. A new round of coronavirus economic stimulus. Saturday, Democrats and Trump administration officials met on Capitol Hill for 3 hours, their longest meeting of the week.
Was more productive than the other meetings. There are many issues that are still very much outstanding.
I want to be clear, there's still a lot of open issues. But again, I think it was the most constructive meeting we've had.
At stake, millions on the verge of losing their homes after the CARES Act eviction moratorium ended and the end of that federal $600 a week unemployment benefit. Lynette Hall is preparing to move out of her home in Colorado. She knows she can't make the rent.
What are you going to do?
Anger boiling over. Many upset a deal hasn't happened yet.
You have an obligation to the American people to not just leave us out to dry to fend for ourselves.
Former Vice President Joe Biden firing back in a statement, because Donald Trump is abdicating his responsibility, we now face a potential housing crisis across the country.
Now, there will be staff meetings again on this issue today, and all the main players will pick back negotiations up tomorrow. Alex Bechet, ABC News, Washington.
And reading lips, reading facial expressions, and helping those who are deaf or hard of hearing. That is the goal behind Clear Masks. As the movement to educate on the need for clear masks gains momentum, many people are now asking where you can get one.
Our Alicia Beretta has been wearing them, and she's received a lot of response from our viewers. She joins us live now from her home with more options for those clear masks.
Good morning. Well, I'm definitely not wearing mine because I'm at home right now and I have to show you what's going on. But really, I think it's been quite some time since we've received so many responses, calls, emails, text about these clear masks. So here it is. We left off with putting just a small amount of Dawn dish soap on a towel. So dish towel, microfiber, or even a paper towel will work. That's what I used yesterday. And after you do it with circle motions all in the inside of the plastic, after that you want to let it sit for a little bit. I usually do it in front of a fan overnight, at least for an hour. But in this case, it's only been 30 minutes. So with the clean side of the towel, we'll kind of wipe off that residue now, as I'm doing here. And we will see if it did the trick, if it can prove me right. So no fog. It's easy as that. And there are other options. This Dawn soap, dish soap trick should last you about an hour. Yesterday for me, it lasted about 2 hours, and it obviously depends on the humidity. If you're indoors, it's fine, but there's also a fog gone spray, but that usually lasts about 10 minutes. So again, an easy Google search will help you find a clear mask like this one. Reporting live from home, Alicia Barrera, KSAT 12 News. Back to you.
Thank you so much for that demonstration, Alicia. A lot of people writing in and asking about this.
Time now 8:42, 77 degrees out.
And do your kids have more screen time now that they've been stuck at home? Yes. Next on GMSA, we're going to tell you what experts are saying about the quality of content, the number of hours they spend online.
And let's take a live look out at the Alamo City. A beautiful 77 degrees to start your Sunday morning. But enjoy this cool breeze while it lasts, because I promise you it's not going to stay like this all day and all week. We're going to check in with Sarah Spivey right after the break. Good morning and welcome back. Parents, listen up. When it comes to monitoring your teenager's screen time, experts say the quality of content is more important than the quantity.
That's according to a report from Common Sense Media. That report says quality of content may be even more important during the pandemic because teens have limited access to other venues of learning.
One of the report's authors say parents should still balance screen time with other activities, though. So guys, we're not teenagers here, but what do you spend the most screen time doing?
Well, I was going to say for my little one, there's a kid messenger, and my husband's sometimes like, oh my gosh, she's been on there too long, but I don't mind it so much because she's interacting with,
It's our only form
other
of social
children.
interaction.
Yeah.
Smart.
And so I like that, but I mean, I guess for me as an adult, it's my cell phone. What about you?
I mean, it's definitely the cell phone, but what about the cell phone?
Oh, I don't know. It's everything. For me, it's a combination.
I would say Twitter, but for information purposes, mostly. What about you, Sarah?
Of course.
Oh, I work. That's what most of my screen time is. I stare at these weather screens for quite some time. But the weather over the next few days is going to be fairly uniform, hot just about every day. I want to go ahead and take a look at the poolside forecast, because if you want to head up to the pool, today is a great day to do that. Mostly sunny out there right now, and we'll top off near 99 degrees for the afternoon high. There will be a chance for isolated showers and storms, and I'll show you the future cast in a bit. But right now, look at that. Blue skies, 77 degrees, and humidity is fairly high right now, but not too bad. We got down once again to 72 in these early morning hours, and so we've been able to warm up. By the way, tomorrow morning as we start the day, it should be mostly clear. If you get up before sunrise, you should look at the moon because you'll see both Saturn and Jupiter around the moon. Very cool. 78 degrees in Helotes right now, 73 at Rio Medina, 74 Port SA, 76 in Tarpley, 72 in Bandera, 73 in Kerrville, 75 in New Braunfels. Here's that futurecast I promised where you can see partly cloudy skies in the afternoon and a few pop-up showers possible. We'll call the chance for rain only 20%. So most people will miss out on the rainfall today, but there will be a couple of pop-up showers and storms on the radar later on this afternoon. Best time for that is between about 2 to sunset in the afternoon. 98 for the high temperature at GMSA Randolph, 98 Stone Oak, 99 Lake Hills, 98 in Von Ormy, and 98 for the high temperature in La Jolla. For us here in San Antonio, 83 around 10. Will still be mostly sunny around noon at 90 degrees. Then we'll see a few more clouds out there, that isolated chance for a shower or storm. Winds will be light and variable, and then in the evening hours it should feel pretty nice, mostly clear skies. And again, remember, wake up early tomorrow morning so you can see the moon, Saturn, and Jupiter all in one. All right, Tropical Storm Isaias, which is currently off of the east coast of Florida, is going to be skirting the east coast of Florida throughout the day today and into tomorrow and Tuesday. By Tuesday, Isaias should try to make landfall along the Carolinas, so we'll keep an eye on that. And then this storm is expected to last for quite some time as a tropical storm, even making it to the New England area as a tropical storm by Wednesday. However, here in San Antonio, we're going to see the effects of a heat dome acting like a magnifying glass and intensifying the sun's rays in the afternoons. That'll be the case as this heat high moves closer and closer to us throughout the week. By Thursday, we'll be seeing a high temperature close to 102 on Thursday. Unfortunately, with the heat dome, we also see our rain chances come to an end. So even though we have a chance for an isolated shower storm today, it's not looking great for the week ahead, especially after Monday. And then the forecast is going to be fairly uniform on repeat over the next several days. You know, August is our hottest month of the year. And guess what? It's going to be hot to start the month. So.
Did we already hit 107 though last week?
We did. We hit 107 on July 13th, Monday.
Okay, so it's not that bad, right?
Yeah, it's not that bad.
Silver lining, 850, 77 degrees out.
And nothing is worse than a broken AC unit during the summer heat. Tomorrow on GMSA, our Eric Hernandez has a few tips on how to keep cool if your AC stops working. So call it double Barrymore. Drew Barrymore interviews her 7-year-old self to promote her new daytime talk show on CBS.
The 45-year-old pulled clips of herself from her in a 1982 appearance on The Tonight Show with Johnny Carson to pull it off. So take a listen.
Please welcome Drew Barrymore.
I've been waiting all my life to meet you.
It's been a wild ride. Can you believe I have 2 daughters around your age?
Kind of scary.
I have so much to fill you in on. Want to hear about our new daytime show?
I'd love to.
We're going to spend an hour every day celebrating life.
Oh.
I'm so excited. I could scream. Want to do it with me?
Guys ready?
That is so much fun.
It's cute.
Wow, that's impressive. Something else to scream about, the pollen count in today's forecast. The mold is high, but it is down from 16,000 yesterday. 9,400 spores per cubic meter of air. So although it's going to be really hot in the afternoon, if you do want to get outside, mold may affect you if you're allergic to it. 83 around 10, 90 around noon, 99 for the afternoon high temperature. Don't forget, there is a chance at pop-up showers and storms. Keep your fingers crossed if you really want one of those showers and storms, because most of us will miss out. Winds will be light and variable. Then look at this forecast. Yesterday we were saying 100 on Monday. 100
We were, you were.
Sorry, on Tuesday.
We know what you mean.
It's going to be very hot, guys. 102 by Thursday.
Oh,
My
wow.
goodness.
We will prepare for the
Yes.
heat. Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you, Sarah. Thank you, Stephanie. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great rest of your Sunday.
Happy Sunday. Bye, guys.